Why, hello and welcome everybody. It is Pohx again. So today we're going to go over a very brief, a very simple leveling guide slash leveling process for the Poison Trapper if you guys are interested in playing it. Now, I will note a couple things right now that this character is extremely budget and does not require any expensive uniques at the start of the game. If you choose to advance your character into kind of like the poison proliferation, then you're going to require a Beano's kitchen knife. And that's pretty much the only thing that's expensive with the build, if you even choose to do it. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it is very nice with some synergy combos and adds a nice, addition to clear speed. But anyway, let's talk about like the beginning stage, just the early, right? Once you start playing. Alright, so I'll go over a skill tree leveling setup a little bit after. So for now, we're going to talk about the gems and what you'd like. So, the beginning part, I like to pick up a Knight's Hold. Knight's Hold is for level 10. Alright, what Knight's Hold does is basically it gives +2 to level of Socketed Gem. Socketed Gem is supported by level 10 added Chaos. Socketed Gem is supported by level 10 Cast When Stunned. Cast When Stunned is considered like a trigger gem, and traps and totems and certain other things cannot be utilized via trigger gems. They don't work. Meaning it will not go off when it's cast when stunned, which means you could put a trap in there and use it as much as you want. And why is that good? Because that level 10 added chaos is probably for like, I don't know, level 50 or something, or level 40. And that added chaos is going to scale off of all the spell damage you've picked up and off of all of the trap damage you've picked up. So the added chaos and the fire trap are both scaling up, and you could easily one-shot mobs, one-shot rares, and prime it up for bosses. It's a really good skill. Alternatives to this are like lightning trap. Lightning trap's also very good. It's got a lower cooldown than fire trap. And anything else really, it's your choice as to what skill you want to put in there. But that worked out really well for me. Also, I forgot what level you get Blade Vortex at, but I did use Blade Vortex up until level 28. Or you could just use like Viper Strike. Viper Strike's not bad. You do get a lot of physical at the start. Like you literally go physical chaos here, and then again you go up through here physical. So you could literally use a melee weapon if you chose to. And you could use something like 2 Black Heart Rings, which cost maybe an alchemy orb. Literally nothing. And they give you life, flat chaos, increased physical. They're not bad really. Your weapon of choice up until you get a Beano's kitchen knife is a Fen Coil. You can choose to swap out with something else if you want, but this is actually a really strong weapon, and here's why. 50% increased damage is basically 50% trap damage, which means it's double dipping. It's not spell damage, because spell damage doesn't work for bear trap. It's not damage over time, because that doesn't work for initial. It's literally just increased damage, which works for everything all across the board. It also gives you 20% life, which more than makes up for your shield. If I were to take off my shield right now, you can see I'm just about 5,900 HP. My shield has 78 life on it, right? This puts me to... Oh, puts me higher. It gives me like an extra 100 HP. So you can see there's literally no downside to using it except for the 12% chance to block. That's probably about it. But it's a solid weapon. It also gives you some mana increase. The Socketed Gem is supported by level 8 trap. It just makes it easier if you want a 3-link. You could put EK in there, but the colors are kind of annoying to get, so you honestly don't even have to really worry about EK. Alright, let's talk about like the bread and butter. So, these 2 items right here I used up until I got to maps, right? My Deerstalkers and my 4-link chest piece, alright? And this is what you do. When you hit level 28, alright, you get Bladefall. That's all that matters. You can do whatever you want to Blade, again, until you get to Bladefall. I used Blade Vortex. It was okay. Probably not the best, but it worked. The second you get to here, the game literally, like a switch turns on and it says God mode, alright? Killing spree, you're gone, alright? You put in Bladefall, multi-trap. You don't need trap because it's built into the boots. So multi-trap, or Bladefall, multi-trap, poison, trap and mine. If you don't like Trap and Mine, you can use Added Chaos, you can do some other stuff. I haven't really done 100% of the math, but I'm pretty sure that Trap and Mine damage is superior to Added Chaos. You put that on, your boots now give you life, they give you 30% movement speed at all times, and you have a 5-link at level 28, and you're done. Like, literally, these boots last you until you get a 5-link, and this 5-link's not even good. And I'm mapping, I'm level 87. And that takes you the whole way. That covers all your AoE. The next thing you need to do now is you need to get a single target going, right? Your single target would be Bear Trap, which would be Poison, Trap and Mine, Void Manipulation, bear trap right there. So that's 4 green. That's not hard to roll on a leather piece. And that will, again, easily cover all your single target damage. And now you're good. You've got everything. If you want more damage, you run vulnerability for curses. If you want to be more defensive like I play, not really Kappa, but you run temporal chains, because temporal chains slows targets down and also increases the, well, they take damage over time. Damage over time effects / effects are on targets longer, which then results in more damage over a longer period of time. So that's pretty much, you know, all I did all the way up to maps, and that worked out really well for me. You know, I didn't really have any issues. You don't really need to use a wither totem. You don't have to waste the links early game. You know, this is more for mapping. You don't really need to run a cast and damage taken, but that's what I'm running. I've got Rallying Cry, Grace, and then cast and damage taken, Immortal Call. You don't need to run, I guess this works too, a 3-link with, you know, your Curse, Faster Casting, Flame Dash, and this is my EK, which you don't need to run. A lot of people do not like EK in the build, and you don't have to put it in if you don't want it. I personally like it. Alright, so let's talk about how I leveled on the tree. Let's swap this over really quickly. Oops, that is not the right button to click. Okay, so this is kind of like a full-on outline. I do apologize if I miss like a note or two here. It always messes up when you're, you know, allocating points. And again, if you want to see this character and you want to see my gear, all you got to do is go to twitch.tv/Pohx and type !profile. All my characters pop up there. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and reset this and go to Shadow. So we're going to start off and grab with the Fizz. Let me enable this so you guys can actually see the nodes. Okay, we're going to start from Shadow, and the reason we start from Shadow is it double dips. You get Fizz and Chaos, which both scale off you. It's that this node right here is 28% increased damage, basically, along with life. So it's pretty ridiculous. Now, this is up to you. I don't like grabbing life early game. You guys can if you feel, you know, if you don't feel as confident, pick up your life. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't grab life early game because life is percentage scaling. You don't have anything to scale early game. My gear is going to suck anyway, you know, why do I need to scale my life? So I'm going to go through Will of Blades. Now the Will of Blades will be respec later to go through Entropy, but you don't have any damage over time right now, right? So there's no point. We're going to come up through here, grab Cold-Hearted Calculation, move up, grab Saboteur. Now you have 2 choices here at what you want to do, alright? If you want to start using multi-traps, you know, Bladefell multi-trap as effectively as possible, then you need to pick up Hasty Reconstruction. This is 30% reduced cooldown for your traps. I believe it's going to have a 4-second cooldown. With Hasty Reconstruction, knock 30% off that. It makes it a lot more smooth when that's your only AoE trap. You know, it makes it a lot more smooth. From there, we're going to go through here, or alternatively, you could do this first and grab Clever Construction. The only reason I'd say it's kind of like a back and forth thing is when you get to Act 4, quite a lot of bosses can instantly kill your traps. Quite a lot of mobs can kill your traps. You know, there's mobs spamming Firestorm and AoEs on the floor and jumping around. So if you want to get Clever Construction first, you know, it's like a 10 level difference. You just get Clever Construction first, and then you go back and you go ahead and pick up Hasty Reconstruction. We're going to move down and grab Trap and Mind Damage. Now, I do know a lot of people have this issue. If you're having trouble aiming your traps, I'm going to go down a node cluster right now, and I'm going to tell you to get it, alright? So, at this point in time, I'm going to go ahead and put Blood Siphon in. If you want to come in here, Trickery is fine. It gives you 20 int. A lot of people do have int issues as well. If you want to run, like, what is it that I need int for? Your curses. Like, Vulnerability is a really high int requirement, I believe. Somewhere around there. Alright, let's move down, though. We move down to around this time, when you're picking up Fatal Toxins, is around the time I believe you should kind of respec. You don't have to at the beginning if you don't want to, but I think it's better to pick up Entropy and drop Will of Blades, because once you're getting your Fatal Toxins, you now know, alright, I'm scaling, you know, pure damage over time. If you want life regen, you can go ahead and jump into Growth and Decay. It's not bad either. You're now scaling life regen. This gives you 2% life regen per second. Really, really nice as a shadow. Alright, so as for what I was talking about with people having trouble aiming traps, these are trap trigger radius, which basically means if you have your trap on the floor right here, it'll trigger before monsters actually hit it, which is really nice for when you're playing party play and someone's running away from a monster and the target's running after them. Instead of having to aim in 100%, you could mess up a little and the trap will still go off. It's not a bad node to get. It's 3 points, you know? And you also get a ton of throwing speed and 15% trap damage. Okay, so from here, we're going to go ahead and move down, pick up Acrobatics for 1 point. If you want to grab Phase Acro, totally up to you. I don't plan on grabbing it for my own playstyle. It's not bad at all to grab. Going to move down again, grab your life. Now, this is kind of where it branches out and becomes a bit different. By this point in time, I don't know, I guess you're almost ready to hit Merciless. You're somewhere around there, so I'll fill in a little bit of life nodes here. And okay, this is when it becomes like awkward, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and move over here, and I'm gonna grab Revenge of the Hunted here, because you're not gonna get life for quite a long time now. I went down through here and like skilled in a Master Sapper, and then I respec'd it because I wasn't 100% sure what I was doing. Because you have to spend quite a lot of nodes to get nothing here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points till you can get damage again for unstable munitions. And then you get the jewel socket as well. Move over, grab Hired Killer. And then again, you've got now another long trek for life. So this is a scenario I would recommend doing this. Before you can get life, you've got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 points, or if you count this little cluster, then it's, 4 points, but it's not a lot of life. Exceptional Performance is really good as well, but you're spending 5 points to get it. So here, what I'd recommend you do is come over here, like 1, 2, right? Grab all your damage here. After you grab all your damage, you can respec out, so pull out here. And you can also pull out right here, because these are two 16%. These are really cool, because these fluctuate all the time. And then you just respec it into here. Boom. Grab your life. You gave your gems time to level. Move across. Fill up your Scion life wheel. This node's really good too. It's 20 strength, which goes for like Enduring Cry, Rallying Cry. Any of the cries you're going to use. Your Flame Golem if you choose to use one. And 12% Fizz. And then from here, you should be filling in jewels. Jewels are a really important part of this build. Jewels, for example, you can get stuff like this. Let's get a good one. 15% trap damage, 7% max life for 2 points. That's really, really good since you're limited of life on the build itself. So this puts you to 102. I want to say this is around where I am. Again, I might be missing a point here or there, but this is more or less my character. I want to see. Let's fill in the 2 trap damage nodes. I think this is like exactly where I am, like right here. So the last things to do with the build would be like move down towards here, grab Master Sapper, move across, grab Dirty Techniques, and your build is done. Anything else you need to do, you could fill in like Aura Reservation here. You could get the Aura Effectiveness. You're literally right by Charisma down here. You could go more evasion based. You could grab Expedition Munitions. You could go a little bit block-based if you chose to. You're right near Frenzy Charges if you want to incorporate that. You could drop the bottom section here and go hybrid, go a little bit of crit. You've got Trickery over here. Doomcast is here. Assassinations right here. True Strikes is right next to it as well. This jewel spot is actually not bad at all because you do want to run Lightning Coil as an endgame thing. This is 18% lightning res, so it's really not too bad. It's still 3 points for a jewel, but I could see it being justifiable. But that's pretty much the character, and I'm really enjoying it. So as of right now, this one gets 180 life. If you count in jewels, it's about 195, 200%. It's right around there with jewels. You could choose to get more life as well if you wanted to. If you didn't want to get damage, you've got like another route. You could go, let's see, 2, 3. You could go 1, 2, 3, like this. And then you could come up here and grab like the life right here. I don't know if you want to grab that. Heart of Oak. And then down across and grab Thick Skin. That's like a other alternative. That puts you 227 plus jewels. That's like 245. So that's another route you could take if you think you have enough damage. But again, that's pretty much the build. I like it. I'm really enjoying it myself. You may see a new build come out here. I'm not really too sure. But for now, I'm really, really, really liking this character. I want to see if I can push it to 90, but my friend does want to reroll. So I don't know if I'm getting to 90 then rerolling or yeah, exactly what's going to happen. But again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, feel free to, like, share, and subscribe. And remember, you can always catch me streaming at twitch.tv/Pohx, where I showcase all the builds of all the games that I play. Anyways, hope you guys had a wonderful time. Drop a question in the comments if you have any, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Take care, everybody.